Hey, good morning, Super Truckers. How are you? It's Mike and Christian here.
What's up?
Coming to you live. Well, not live, pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded, sorry.
But nevertheless, we're here to give you guys information. Today's topic is going to be what you need to know before you drop or start your own authority. So everything that comes along with that.
That's a very valid topic.
It's going to be an interesting one. But before we do get to that, we had a comment last week by a guy, El Chino. He commented something pretty interesting. He, he kind of put us on blast because one of our drivers was doing a 30-minute break at the fuel pump. All right.
Yeah, but then I reached out to El Chino and I'm like, sorry man, like that truck number don't match our truck numbers, but hey, I'll look into it, and as a matter of fact, swing by our Thursday's podcast. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. But then as we went back and forth in the comments, we pretty much figured out like that was like different company, and probably he just Googled the first word of a company and it brought him to us, and he thought it's us, but it wasn't us. So we all good, El Chino.
Yeah, it's all good.
Hey, thanks for subscribing, by the way.
Absolutely. But nevertheless, that's, what do we think about taking your 30-minute at the pump?
Yeah, don't be a super trucker. Be a legit trucker.
Yeah. All right. So, and then we're going to post the rates, aren't we? We're going to do that as well?
Oh, by the way, I forgot. This week's rates, just for you to kind of know what's up, how to go about your business, where to go, what areas to avoid. Every Thursday we post rates in the video description. And this is why it's kind of pre-recorded, because when we were doing live and the rates were getting posted in a live chat. By the way, if you're gonna go backwards and watch our previous videos, all the rates will be in a live chat. But the problem was that if we would run the live video, the live chat is only visible while we actually recording the video, and then it disappears for a day. So pretty much for a consumer such as yourself watching this video, if you're not able to watch live and you catch up with that an hour later, you pretty much hear us talking about the rates, but you don't see the rates. And I think that's not fair until the next day, but are you even coming back next day? So we're just going to do that in the description every time from now on, every Thursday. Check them out and tell your dispatcher what's up.
Yep, that way you have full visibility.
Yep.
So now kind of digging in today's topic, what brought this one to light is pretty interesting. I do get constant calls about individuals who already have their own authority and looking to see if they should put it down for a minute, make it, put it to sleep, make it dormant, put it on pause or whatever you want to call it. But yesterday was pretty interesting. You have an individual with a couple of trucks based out of Florida, and he's in trouble. He's actually kind of struggling. The money isn't quite there for him. He just kind of got, hooked into something with Amazon and invested a lot, got his own authority, built the 2 trucks. So he's made great strides, but he's feeling the pain right now. So that's kind of what led us to today's topic, right? So number one, getting your own authority. Can you, make big money, but spend big money, right?
Yes, because authority by itself is not a big deal. It's not a very expensive thing. It's a great responsibility, but it's not a big thing. The biggest challenge in the authority is the cost of insurance. So again, first year, it's kind of pricey. Wait until you get to the second year.
Yeah, so we'll kind of dig into that insurance in a little bit in further depth, but so when choosing to either open your own authority or not, right? So the money, can someone benefit kind of in the setup of being an agent for someone? So like, let's say someone comes to Voyager, right? You're kind of in the middle, because even if the guy has 2 trucks, you're still using our resources. He can use insurance. The cargo not liability flies under that.
So in my experience, I think the authority comes last. I do not think that authority by itself, you get your own authority when you're ready to run your own business fully independent from anybody else. I think only at that point. Everything else, like getting your own authority and being an agent or, working for this very specific small customer, I don't think is
What?
I don't think it's a good idea.
Right. So
because-
so let's talk about it. So let's say it's a one-man army, because there's guys out there, one truck, one authority, and they're doing it. But now, I question. So is that one-man army worth the journey? And please leave comments. Maybe some guys can tell us, what their benefits are and how successful you are. I'm not doubting there's successful people out there, but what about the ELD, the factoring, the dispatch service? What
Yes.
about a DOT audit? I mean, are you paying someone to be by your side and guide you through that? But who are they? When it comes time to that audit, are you compliant?
Yes, and I would get back to the word authority. If you get your own authority, unless you're full independent, unless you're really taking care of every aspect of your business on your own, everything else is a joke. That's my opinion. Everything else is a scheme of nothing good is going to come out of this. So authority is a good thing. One-man army authority, totally doable. You can do that. You can make money. You can be successful. You can grow. But let's say if you bought a truck and the next thing is the authority, you are misinformed. You're chasing something else, because no matter where you go, unless you go to some very specific niche, but then you locked into that niche, and whatever happens, you stuck there, because just a truck and authority without the full package and knowledge, in my opinion, it's not a good start. It's a situation.
Right. So even like the gentleman we were dealing with, he did all the paperwork. He got the authority, the insurance, the 2 trucks, and he's done all that. However, he was doing a dedicated customer freight, one customer, all his eggs in one basket. So now you have what it takes to go get work anywhere you want, but do you know how to go do that? Have you built a rapport for yourself, as far as even if you try to take broker freight? Good luck. He's it's going to be a situation for him.
Yeah, a couple of things. Like new authority is always a challenge, because people just don't trust you. It's easier to start in a very, very good market, because right now, if you're just starting the authority, and let's say you're going to reach out to a broker that you are not set up with, are we even going to waste their time for a setup, knowing that you may fall off during that process of the load to begin with, when we know within a couple of minutes we're going to have one of their carriers that has done a couple hundred loads for them already, just going to book that same load. So it can be, in the tough times, it can be very problematic to start rolling in terms of, getting your own customers and, getting set up with them, because people just don't want to get carriers set up. It takes time. It's labor intensive. So if I'm a broker and I have to move this load, and you just contacted me, nothing against you, but if I know that 2 minutes from now somebody will reach out to me that I already done some business with, it's so much easier, quicker, and safer to do that instead of going for new adventure. And nothing bad against new venture. I'm just saying that I would be trying to be the most effective I can be in my field.
Right, because even what about the other way around? I mean, this guy's aged his authority a little bit, because the customer he did have, so he's been doing it for about 1.5 years already, but now he's hit that wall where he's struggling. And so it's almost like he knows it's either going to do something now, or it's going to fall apart, right? So that's kind of the position he's in. So customers can look at him as he's been in existence. He's not new on the block. However, from his point of view, there's things that he has to protect his business from.
Yes.
From brokers.
So pretty much, if you aged your authority enough, you're already in that ballpark that most of the brokers on a good day will work with you. The problem is that, again, if you can go to Amazon right now, click one button, and that little magic gadget ships to you, and it's at your door tomorrow, and you have another website that you need to get a setup, you need to add the payment method, then add the shipping method, and all those things to get that gadget tomorrow. Let me guess for you. You just
Don't-
clicking with Amazon and getting it done, and you don't want to go through extra hoops. And that's the same way in business. You just nothing personal. It just nobody wants to go through extra hoops. However, everybody started at some point. So yes, it's doable. You just have to consider that. That's just one of the things to consider before you start that venture. It will be happening. Just be patient and do your thing.
Yeah, because we have, even that when they call in, there's all kinds of scenarios. Because I had another individual who actually purchased a truck from a rider, I believe it was, and they provide those kind of services where they'll set you up and do all the paperwork for you and send you on your merry way. But he had no knowledge of where to book loads from. You know what I mean? And so that was a different scenario. So again, that's why we're making this video. We share other people's experiences, so you can comment your experiences, and together people get educated to make better decisions for themselves. Now the ever so daunting and the biggest piece of the puzzle, Mike is our resident expert at that, the insurance. I mean, cost, renewal, cancellations, growing too fast, safety records. I mean, what can somebody with their new authority expect?
Well, I would say in the whole authority is made out of two things. 20% DOT, 80% insurance. Insurance being the biggest, most expensive piece. A lot of times, first year, it's high. Second year is higher. Third year may put you out of business. On the average, first year is easy because it's a very streamlined process.
Right.
Second year, the questions come in. And even if you're a safe driver, it's not like you're shopping for quotes. And as a matter of fact, we're probably gonna sometime very soon, I don't know, maybe this week, next week, do a video dedicated just to insurance. Because a lot of times when I see people shopping for insurance, we're making a lot of mistakes to begin with. Buyer beware. I was interviewing an individual for the office position a couple of years ago, and as we were talking, he said like that he works for a agent that does trucking insurance for trucking companies. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make this interview very useful.
You became the student.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so what's up with trucking insurance? How does it work? Just gathering information what I may not know. And man, this guy says, oh, that's easy. You just start a new authority every year and shut down the old one. Well, let me tell you something. That will put you out of business very, very soon. Very soon. So I can even give you a breakdown how it's going to happen. You're gonna do the first year, second year, you're gonna somehow maybe get a renewal. About a couple months in to 6 months in, the price is either gonna double because we will connect that VIN number to the previous authority, and at that point you are pretty much chameleon carrier. Once your name gets attached to it, you're doomed, literally doomed. Like it's not that even somebody gonna give you the expensive quote. You're literally gonna be begging for quotes and not getting any. I've been around the block in trucking, and I've seen those situations happening again and again and again. And once your name is attached to it, it's gonna haunt you for years. And you're gonna be trying to start your own authority, and you're just not gonna be able to do so. So, the cost of insurance, big thing. Again, we will get back to this whole insurance thing in the video dedicated just to insurance. Renewal, very costly. Just think about it this way. You're getting your own authority to make more money, but this right here will cost you arm and leg. I've seen quotes from way back in the day, $4,500 for unit for a year. Now, I can only dream about this type of quote. And I also seen quotes as high as $25,000, $30,000 per truck. If you get to that point, you have a lot of decisions to make, because it's not like you can just drop that authority and start a new one, because that will catch up like before you even get a quote. You have to make a decision. Are you out of this for a couple of years and just gonna run under somebody else's flag, or you actually ready to work for free for a year until better days, and then next year will be probably better. So year 1 easy, year 2 second hardest year, year 3 renewal, nearly mission impossible. If you pass that, good job, you're doing everything right. And again, if insurance cancels on you, your authority is no good, it's gone. So and then again, just touch base on the same thing before I lose myself. If you, for a third year, that price goes up like crazy. If you're gonna say, okay, I'm just gonna put that authority to the side, I'm not gonna renew insurance, I'm gonna run under somebody else's flag, and then I will come back to it. It may be very, very expensive, if possible at all, to get the insurance after the pausing of the first thing.
Right, because that was going to lead into our next question. Is there such thing as pausing? Because from my understanding, once DOT sees that there's no insurance on it, you're revoked?
Yes, so soon as the insurance canceled, you are revoked.
So the only way to be dormant is you have to continue the policy.
Yes, you have to continue the policy, and at that point, if your policy is $30,000, that's why you're pausing it in the first place.
Right.
And if you pausing the authority because of insurance again, I don't know. Maybe you need to rethink a couple of things, and because the challenge that you're going to run into. Let's say you want to pause an authority. There is no such thing that you can fill out the form and everything stays in pretty good shape for the time being. No, the only way to pause it is to get the authority revoked voluntarily or involuntarily. Voluntarily, you reach out to DOT with a form, sign, fill it out to revoke your authority, and the authority is revoked. The other option, the insurance cancels and the DOT revokes your authority. Now, if you're no longer planning to run under your authority, not a big deal, business as usual. You just lease on to the carrier and carry on. However, if you plan to renew, depends how long from that time you're planning to do this. When you're gonna start shopping for insurance, and again, reactivating your authority is very easy. As soon as you have insurance,
that's it.
It's a done deal. It's a couple of weeks. Still gonna, if it's revoked, it will take about 3 weeks to reinstate it. But the problem is, if you're gonna have that gap in auto liability insurance, it's going to be very, very difficult to get the quote to begin with. You're gonna have a lot of questions asked. What happened, why, what, and if you think that you're just going to tell them, well, the market was down, the insurance cost was high, so I decided to put it to the side, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to make your route any easier.
So it's almost easier to probably just start a whole new authority.
Yes, but yes and no. But yes, it just depends how long before you're going back into that game.
Right, so then you become the chameleon carrier, and so you're stuck.
And even not necessarily a chameleon carrier, because chameleon carrier is somebody who runs a couple MCs at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe you just literally shut down one authority and opening up another one. There is nothing chameleon with that. There is nothing illegal with that.
Right.
However, the insurance will look at this as an extreme risk. And we don't have to prove you that you are chameleon carrier. You have to prove them that you are not chameleon carrier. And that, my friend, is a big adventure with a lot of bumps in the way. So that's pretty much, again, that's pretty much the renewal is insurance question. Shutting down is always easy. You just kind of need to make up a plan and figure out what is your plan. If you are right here sitting in front of me and now we're talking about this thing, if you would give me your plan, I would give you a very precision answer on what your options are. I'm not I'm not making those rules. I'm not somebody who can, spin things around or anything. But I would give you the information that I have, like the best information possible.
And things you've gone through and experiences.
What's coming?
Yeah.
What's coming? And by the way, if you have any questions, post them in the comments below. We will be trying to answer as many of those as possible. Again, at this point, sometimes we're not responding to the questions, not because we are bombarded with questions, but because at this point in our little podcast here, we're getting so little questions and reactions that sometimes we just miss them. We don't even expect them to come.
Which, my people, leads us to a conclusion. If you were to give advice to somebody who says, hey, I'm going to open my authority, it's going to happen no matter what, and he's determined, or he or she is determined, which is always great to see. We're never the people to tell you don't do it, but what are the best, after your experiences out there, ups, downs, highs, lows, what is the best course of action to do something like that to improve your success rate?
Yes. So before I start, I have a counter question. When you answer that phone call, the driver is calling you, and he tells you like, "Hey Christian, listen, here's what I got. I got this truck." You would probably ask, "Do you have plates? This, that," and then I have an authority. And what can you offer to me? What can you offer to me? Because again, my expectation is right away, because I answered some of those calls. Maybe I was one of those drivers myself, but I answered some of those calls. And when somebody says, "I have my truck and my own authority, what can you do to me? What can I work
right
in your company?" What would you answer to this driver?
I mean, so there's basically two things that happen. So one of the things is they run under my authority, all right, or our authority. And with that is because at the same time, they might be looking for a dispatch service, which is something totally different, which is not what we do in regards to what they're looking for. Because when our dispatchers dispatch, we're running under our authority, our MC. We've built a reputation off of that with customers, here, there, and it took time to build that. And so we have access to, we're premium carriers, this, that, the other, not to get too deep into that. But that's what we can provide. So if I'm trying to use their MC number, now my dispatchers would have such a challenge because I don't know where it stands. I don't know what their reputation is.
And another thing, so here's what the problem you're gonna run into, like your dispatcher and the company gonna run into.
Right.
If you're gonna dispatch this individual under his own authority, the customers have a database. So right away we're gonna be, hold on, the phone number leads back to my regular carrier. Now this guy with different MC number is somehow attached to this phone number, to these same people, to this same everything.
And so now,
what's going on? Are we running like some kind of shady operation? So our name at that point becomes, even we trying not to do anything illegal, is become a question. Plus, if we get freight under our authority and then give it to somebody else with their own authority, that is illegal under any contract between any customer and carrier. If you double broker, you might as well not.
And then that's paid. What would happen to my dispatch. That's what would happen to the dispatcher. So once you kind of start to dig into that, the conversation changes. And then, where we can set up a type of agency where you can run as an agent. A lot of people do it. You'll see it, like the Evans Group, ARL. Those are all intermodal, but Roadrunner, most of those facilities are agents where they can fly under our flag.
But as an agent, you still need resources.
Right. So that's the balance, right? So those are the two basic avenues, but it depends, because the guy, if he's just kind of a one-man army with his own authority, that agent thing is off the table.
Yes.
Sometimes it might be an individual with 3-4 trucks, and he's looking for some other kind of opportunity.
Yes.
But again, it's what you'll find with those people, it's very difficult for them to let go of what they built. But sometimes you have to count your losses, kind of like the people that we interviewed yesterday that were here. I mean, we had nothing to do with that, but they came to they realized themselves, like, probably at the best time that they can realize it, that if they don't do something right now and make a change, they're probably going to lose everything. Rather than losing a little bit, they might lose everything.
Yeah. So now to run through the conclusion, you pretty much answered everything just in different spotlights from like the real perspective of what happens when somebody already has that authority, and now does it have any value to you? No.
Right.
Does it have any value to anybody else? No. So let me break down, because those phone calls are pretty common, I would say.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing too, right? You're not letting go of everything, because a lot, most people know, but some don't. You can have your own authority and let the authority go, but keep your plate. I've seen people give back their IRP plate, close the account because they thought they had to, when you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Authority is authority. Nothing else is connected. Even the company, let's say you open Speedy Gonzalez Trucking, right? And it has an authority, but it's also a corporation. Just because you're shutting down the authority, if you have, let's say, Speedy Gonzalez plates, the IFTA, all that stuff, no. You shut down the authority, your plates, your IFTA, it's all good as gold, because we are not attached to your authority. We are attached to your corporation, to your business.
Yeah, it's as simple as giving the MC and DOT number of who you're going to run for, and then the IRP would update that company is responsible for safety. Even the insurance, I mean, that one may be a little bit trickier, but what happens is somehow in that package, you probably already have your physical damage and your bobtail. All you're really dropping is the cargo and auto liability. So you're letting go of that piece of it, right? And you're keeping the physical damage and the bobtail.
Given if the company that you insured with allows the split.
Yeah, there is. Chances are, if they allow the split.
Because a lot of times, if you're going into your authority realm, a lot of times for like one truck operations, we want to sell you the whole package, and it comes as a whole package. You can't drop just liability and keep that. But if you have more experience, or if you're lucky and you're watching this video before you go that route, try to keep your bobtail and non-trucking liability
or
separate from your auto liability and cargo. It can be through the same agent, but it has to come from different providers.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, two separate policies. That would make a lot of sense. So again, guys, so in the conclusion, the step one would be?
Step one, as an owner-operator, starting your own business. You start at square one, and let's just talk all the way to like 40 trucks. You don't start with authority. You start with truck. You get a truck. The second thing on the list, and we're talking about things that you will be able to use all around. Second thing on the list is plates and your own bobtail insurance. So now, even if you as an owner-operator cruising around, going to this company, to that company, you're no longer wasting $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a year in other companies' plates and always leaving them behind. You're cruising around with your own plate, and you just don't incur those expenses anywhere you go. So that's universally, regardless if you're going to go further than that, or if you're just going to stay at that. Plates and your own bobtail insurance. That will give you an option to move around, to stay with this company, or to move further in your own business. That would lead you to IFTA and fuel card. Again, IFTA and fuel card goes together, because you're responsible for a fuel tax. You're the one that's paying. You're the one that's paying for fuel. You're the one that's reporting IFTA. Just because you get IFTA, a lot of times we hear, oh, it only costs like, what does it cost? Like $4.75 or some stuff per sticker. Yeah, it's just a sticker, but if you file quarterly and you're responsible for that, that's pretty hardcore, almost like IRS. So just be careful. And when you get that, remember it goes together, because now this is your fuel stamp, tax stamp, and this is your fuel card, and you're responsible for all the calculations. That will give you a little bit more freedom to go to the companies that may not offer fuel card, to go to the companies that may not offer IFTA, and other companies such as, for example, us here. If you're using our IFTA, you're using our fuel. If you're using our fuel, you're using our IFTA. There is no in between, period, because at the end of the day, the responsibility is ours, the record is ours, and we just pretty much we cannot be like halfway responsible without ability to produce the data for the state in question to go through the audit, just because let's say you used our IFTA, but now but your own fuel card, and now we're like 5 years later going through the audit, and we're trying to reach you to get the fuel transactions because it's our responsibility, and we can't even get a hold of you because you already retired and nice sunny country, and you don't even have that same phone number anymore.
You're gone fishing.
Yeah, you're gone fishing. You've been successful for all this time, and you're just living the dream at this point. So that's the second thing. Then third thing is quality trailer. Don't just buy a junk trailer. Get a nice trailer.
No money makers.
No money makers. Get a real nice equipment, food grade trailer that you're going to be able to run with. And again, that will open even more options to you, because now you have your own trailer. You can get a better deal. Obviously, all that stuff costs money, so
So it comes in steps, I guess.
It comes in steps, and only after you got those three things out of the ballpark, that's if you plan to be like, okay, I got everything, I want more, I want my own adventure, I want to do my own thing and take the full responsibility for whatever happens, only then you get your own authority. Because if you only have a truck and your own authority, without those three things, your authority is just empty words in the wind. There is nothing there. But there is nothing there for anybody else but the huge expense for you.
Yeah, so that's our conclusion. There you have it. So remember, guys, first, plates and your insurance. Second, operate with your own IFTA and your own fuel card. Whether you're linked up with a company that can provide you with the discounts or your own, you can afford your own fuel, quality trailer, and then at that point, your own authority.
Yeah, I agree. That's the only way to go. Other than that, your own authority is pretty much waste of time and your money and your effort and maybe even your future. Because if you get those three things first and learn the business and then jump to your authority, now you're kind of on the way to success.
Right,
but if you start with your authority and then you realize that you have no use for it and you don't have resources to get those other things, or you don't have time to get the knowledge, now you're dropping that authority, and now you're becoming this individual that is a risk to insurance companies.
And so then at that point, you just all this movement going on, and it's just movement, not progress. So and again, and what's not said here is what's in between the lines, because you definitely, along the adventures from going from number 1 to number 2 to number 3, you're learning so much in the business that that tangible knowledge is just only done by experience.
Absolutely. And look, if you're still on the path to get your own authority, absolutely do it. It's absolutely worth it. Obviously, you have to accept that there is going to be not only more money, but there is going to be a lot more expense, a lot more work involved, a lot more responsibility. But if you're down for that, do it. It's worth it. Just make sure you do it right. Take it in the steps and don't waste money by jumping way ahead of yourself and just, achieving pretty much nothing. And on top of that, complicating your future plans. Other than that, please like, subscribe, share, comment in the under the video.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to get back to you.
We will.
We will. Especially if you're gonna comment like today, for sure, I'll be on it.
All right, guys. So please drive safe out there. Keep on trucking.